Hey guys, my name is Rudy, and this is part of my travel series. So, where does a guy from Miami go to on vacation? Wichita, Kansas. Many people ask why. I hope this answers some of the questions. I had a great plan. I was going to do a Facebook Live video like I did in some of the other places, but what happened is after everything was good to go, my Facebook Live just sort of disappeared. So, like I said, I had a fantastic time, and I want to go through this real quick. A couple minutes to kind of highlight mostly the Museum of Transportation, the Great Plains Museum of Transportation. That's right there in downtown. So, what the heck is in Kansas? Well, first off, I always love classic building styles like the ones you see here. If you look at the building, kind of notice that it's got some classic building styles here. What's really cool about this place is some very classic arcades. It's a place you walk into, you drop $10 unless you want to play pinball. Pinball is extra money. The rest of the games are set on to open. So unlike a Nickelcade, these things are totally free. Everything's set to autoplay. So just press the start button. So these are some of the games I haven't seen in years. Like here's Zaxxon that I remember for Burger's Pizza down in Sealy. Hadn't seen that machine since. Just thought it was pretty awesome. Another one is Dragon's Lair. I pumped many of dollars into this machine, and I got the little mini version. You might have seen some of my other videos. Donkey Kong next to it. That's also part of my minis that I have from the Hallmark. And here's just a small sample of what we got here. So here we got Centipede, Dig Dug, Tempest, uh, had everything, even Frogger. I mean, this place had all the classics. Bump and Jump. This is an arcade game I have not seen since Sealy Bowling Place. Burger Time. I kind of got into that one a little bit later. And here's my window view from my hotel, the Hyatt Hotel up there. Very beautiful scenery. But I do have to say, this Miami boy was extremely cold because it was freezing out there. I love this classic architecture. It seems like Wichita is like a very large, or very small, large town. I guess you could say it that way. This is downtown. Almost everything's within walking distance in this area. More classic infrastructure. And this is the main reason we're doing the video, the Great Plains Museum of Transportation. You're driving downtown, you'll go underneath an overpass. Uh, the back part of it is a railroad track that's still being used today by the BNSF. But what you're seeing is actually a steam locomotive over the top of it that gets anybody's attention. Here is a steam locomotive piston. And what I really like about this museum is very much hands-on. You can see, go inside a lot of places, unlike where things are roped off in a lot of other museums. This place has friendly people and a quite impressive collection for a small museum. Here is the Santa Fe 3768. This is a 4x8x4 Northern type built by Baldwin in 1938 for Santa Fe. What's really cool about it is if you look down here, this piece along the top here, along the bottom here, is actually one solid piece. In a lot of other locomotives, these are separate pieces that are bolted together. It operated the passenger runs of Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railroad. It was retired in 1958. Here's the side of it. I love these locomotives. I've seen so many of them, and I'm so happy that so many are still preserved. The other side. And back here, you can see the little walk-up structure where you can walk inside the cabin, check out all the stuff that's inside of it. And here's the inside view. So this is actually an oil burner. Oil was very cheap at the time, and a lot of the coal stuff was converted into oil. On the left-hand side is the fireman, and on the right-hand side is the engineer. On this comfy box, you sit and you drive this bad boy. You see the standard brakes and all the different levers. It's a little bit more complicated than just press go and off we go. Here is the fireman's position. He's in charge of regulating all the water temperatures and the steam to keep the engine not only running but also efficient. The thing that baffles me about steam locomotives is the view. This one has an extra small window, if you can see in the front. So between you and the firemen, it's up to you two guys to figure out and make sure the pathway in front of you is clear of all obstacles. A lot of times the guys would lean out the window and look out in front of the locomotive because this big boiler is blocking the way. Here's on the corner is part of the structure you can go up inside, and just kind of gives you an idea how massive this machine was. And this is the Santa Fe number 93. This is a diesel electric built by General Motors. The model was Foxtrot Papa 45, built between 1967 and 1968. 14 of these models were made. Each one of them featured a 20-cylinder engine, 3,600 horsepower, or 2,680 kilowatts of power. 6 of those locomotives are preserved, 1 was sold, 1 was wrecked, and the rest were scrapped. Now, this locomotive has seen better days, but it's so cool to see something like this and be able to look inside. This is a caboose from the Kansas City Railway. Cabooses back in the day were set at the end of the train, and the guys lived there, and they also managed to look after the track and the train. They're replaced by something called FRED. I can't recall what the acronym actually stands for, but now it's a tiny little box at the end of the train that tells the train it's still connected to everything and that nothing's been derailed. This is inside the caboose. Not living life of luxury, but had most everything that you need. So back here is a AMTRACK car. I think it's actually used as maintenance facilities for most of the stuff here at the museum. Here's a Burlington Northern. As you may well know, that Santa Fe and Burlington Northern met and merged, and they became the Santa Fe Burlington Northern, which they are today. Now here's the controls. You got the brakes. This here is the horn. I can't remember. I want to say this is the locomotive brake. This is the train brake. Your control panel. And here's kind of comparisons in what you can see out the window. I mean, here you got a good view, almost everything except directly in front of you. You still have to kind of look out the sides. But you got a good view as to what's going on and what's in front of you. Here's a tanker car. This is a UP caboose, different style, but similar furnishings. You see the old style stove. Judging how cold it was this morning, I can say that stove got some good use. Here's how you stop the train or any particular car by turning the wheel to lock the brakes manually. Went too far. This is a old style tow truck. International, but I have no idea what year. I'm not that good. If you guys know, please chime in and tell me what you think, or where it might be, what year. Inside looks a lot like some of the military stuff we had. Also, no idea. I'm guessing 1940s, 1950s for this. If any truck guys, truck fans, please chime in. Let me know what year you think this was and what this might have been used for. There was no sign. Here's the way the train is displayed out there. The caboose and then the Burlington Northern. Another shot of the Burlington Northern number 421. Here is a smaller type locomotive used for moving stuff around. Another side of the Santa Fe 93. And behind the fence, that is a real live train passing by. That's a BNSF. Coincidentally, carrying a similar load to the one that's actually shown here. You got the green and orange, just like the museum pieces of green and orange, as well as a tanker car. Here's the Santa Fe number 93, and down there on the right is my tour guide. Central Kansas Railroad. Like I said, I mean, the Great Plains Museum and Transportation is a really awesome place to see. It's definitely worth checking out. Just like me, I appreciate you guys checking out my video, and if you like, please like and subscribe. Most of my videos are action-packed. This one, I wanted to get something in there because I thought this place is pretty awesome, but again, my camera doesn't do it justice. Till next time on the road, this is my travel series. Till next time, take care.